Words on My Skin, The Monster Within by Sabbi.B.Conscious. Journal Entry 4. So my question is, were you one of those women who planned romantic getaways, spending hundreds of dollars to reconnect? I see you nodding in agreement. You wanted to fix your invisible friendship with your mate so you both could go back to a time where everyone was in love. I say invisible because you thought it existed when everything was happy, happy, joy, joy. But you see it now for what it really is. It was all in your imagination. The friendship never existed. But that is another conversation we need to have a little later. Let's stay focused. So I was saying, you're on this mini vacation. You have it all planned out. Champagne on ice with chocolate-covered strawberries nearby. Rose petals leading from the entranceway to the bed, with candles lighting the way. This hotel room was costly because you chose one that faced the ocean. Your intentions for this reconnection getaway where no one needs to leave the room because, well, seduction of your husband, of course. Better yet, I won't even mention the add-ons you may have packed in your suitcase to make it a very interesting experience. To your chagrin, he falls asleep with his phone neatly tucked by his side. You wait patiently, at times holding your breath for him to roll over and suddenly wake up. You visualize the moment unfolding and smile silently to yourself. Love emitting from you as patience soothes your restlessness. Each movement he makes, because of his vibrating phone, gives you hope. But then he sleeps some more. As a matter of fact, he spends the entire getaway sleeping while you spend the entire time watching him sleep, thinking about the best way to suffocate and bury him so he can sleep forever. In the meantime, you're there drinking the expensive champagne you bought, silently whispering to yourself, "What a fucking waste." I know. This was the beginning of me figuring it out. You've tried to sit and have conversations, but nothing is clicking. You're wondering how you guys became a couple in the first place. One person is talking Mandarin while the other is talking Spanish. It is clear you both have nothing in common. He sits there looking at you. You sit there looking at him. And for the life of you, you can't figure out how to converse with the man you lay down with every night. But let his female friends call him, and let's just say he becomes a blabbering fool with a newfound spirit of finding his tongue, leaving you to think, what the fuck? I know. Because you want it to work, you gently try to broach the subject. Honey, let's try. You make endless suggestions of sex therapy, marriage counseling, a little Kama Sutra, or even exploring tantric sex. But it hasn't worked and won't work. Behind it all are the silent whispers of you destroying his ego because he is unable to satisfy you mentally or physically. And he knows it. Sis, let me tell you this. There's nothing wrong with you. And to his defense, there's nothing wrong with him either. As cliche as it may sound, he's just not the one for you. You want your body to be explored. You want every nerve ending to tingle as he uses his tongue as a compass to get to that sweet place that brings you ecstasy. But then it hits you. He's not interested. Why? Well, he came, he saw, and he conquered. Just like how he shops. He wants to go in and then he wants to come out. His actions don't mean you're not worthy of feeling, of being examined, or of being connected with on a deeper level. You are worthy. but it's just not his thing, and it doesn't have to be. This is when the battle of right and wrong ensues, resorting to name calling and sexuality shaming, resorting to ego bruising and accusing, with you choosing to state he is an insensitive prick to your needs. The resolution is simplistic, as the word implies. No one will win unless you both concede. Now, I'm not one to promote breakups, but trust me, if you are unfulfilled and he is unwilling to meet you halfway, unwilling to consistently work on communicating with you, unwilling to put his ego aside to hear what's deeply troubling you, unwilling to take into consideration needs you may have because he's only focused on his own, then consider leaving expeditiously. But again, I'm not one to promote breakups. But listen, if you decide to leave, just know he will appreciate it in time. Think about it. He has no reason to change. He's satisfied. Remember, he came, he saw, and he conquered. His goal was getting you, for whatever reason, and his job is done. He is satisfied. You, on the other hand, will be in a space of resentment that will slowly eat away his manhood. Your bitterness will become a tsunami of negative energy that no relationship can survive in, not even the good ones. Life is too short to continue to dwell in a space like that. So, okay, the crazy thing is, you are probably oblivious to everything I've just mentioned. Maybe some of it resonated, but most of it did not. You probably haven't even thought about any of this because you're so used to functioning without feeling. Yes, indeed, you are officially the walking dead, and welcome to Zombieland. You're unhappy, and you can't even figure out why. He irks you, being his normal everyday self. You hate any time of occasion or holiday because you get nothing from him. You despise doing the daily chores, which includes taking care of the kids, because there is no support. And yes, we know you love your kids, but that's besides the point. You can't stand being in and around his family because you feel like the third wheel. You dread bedtime because it could possibly mean a roll on and roll off moment. Fuck. I said it for you. Your new norm is not feeling. Allowing him to satisfy himself with your body only half pleases you because despite it all, you love him. But secretly, you loathe him. Maybe your connection was good in the beginning, and now he has become complacent. Maybe you were, I hate to say it, desperate to be in a relationship, and you put up with not being fulfilled because he had other qualities that you liked. Maybe you had no freaking idea what it meant to climax, so having sex with him for 1 minute had you unfazed. It felt good. Now, in the discovery process of your body, you stumbled upon it. This revelation of how to allow your body to climax is now causing distance because climaxing during sex feels good. He resents John, the vibrating dildo, and you resent him. Whatever your reason, not feeling is and will never be acceptable. I would say this in defense of my magnificent kings. Us queens often move the goalpost as soon as we're in. What was acceptable before is acceptable no longer. What drew us in to you, that je ne sais quoi, that made us saturated, now leaves our honeypot, crispy dry, crumbling like crunchy chocolate chip cookies. I don't know the answers or solutions, but I will explore the emotions and frustrations. The truth of the matter is, we are all humans who are a muddle of everything that seems complex. The goal is to communicate, sort through it, express what is felt, while lovingly working together to meet each other where they are, because the only way it can work it being a loving partnership and a gratifying sex life is if you both leave satisfied. It's as simple as that. Thank you for listening to Journal Entry 4. Subscribe and join me for my next journal entry. Until then, be conscious.